evening, and thank you for watching Behind the Spotlight. I'm Crystal Lampett, and I am very pleased to present a Kansas City native, Mac Lethal.
Good evening.
How are you doing? Thanks for being on the show.
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me, and thank you for having us.
Yes, all of you, so excited to have you. You're going to perform a song off of your newest album, and it is called
Day by Day, and it's produced by The Extraordinaires, who are behind me right now.
The Extraordinaires and Mac Lethal. Take it away.
Let's do it. Good evening. My name is Mac Lethal, and I love you with my heart.
This is Dom Sanders. This is Leonard Destroy. This is where we are. Hey! Go Royals! Go Chiefs! Go Sporting KC! Go Kansas City Blades, rest in peace. Kansas City Comets. We doing this? Hey! I'm trying to take it day by day. You see another rapper rhyming, but he ain't like me. And it's a brand new day. It's time to make the decision. You gonna spend today up in a throne or a prison? Listen, I'm trying to make it day by day. You see another rapper rhyming, but he ain't like me. And it's a brand new day. It's time to make the decision. You gonna base your choices off of wishes or wisdom? Listen, Kansas City legend, blue belt in jiu-jitsu. All I need is marijuana, coffee, and my rent due. And I'll be flowing so insane. Woo! You wanna see something sexy? Open up my brain, oh Lord. Sexy like a March 1992 Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition centerfold. Kathy Ireland up on the top cover, whipping up the peanut butter cookies with the pot butter. Used to steal UFC VHS tapes at a Blockbuster. Hoist Gracie was a monster. Sick, triangle choke somebody till his face turned bright red like Dom's bass right there. Quick, listen, I'm from Kansas City, home of Jesus, and obese kids that eat way too many Reese's and drink too many energy drinks. The only way that I know how to escape is to sit here and think. You know I'm trying to take it day by day. You see another rapper rhyming, but he ain't like me. And it's a brand new day. It's time to make the decision. You gonna spend today up in a throne or a prison? Listen, I'm trying to take it day by day. You see another rapper rhyming, but he ain't like me. Then it's a brand new day. It's time to make the decision. You gonna base your choices off of wishes or wisdom? Listen, my name is Mac. I hate pop music. I love to sleep in all day and not do nap time. I'm feeling so priceless. Have a freaking existential crisis as I write this. Girl, why you acting like you stupid though? The whole entire world is watching like the Truman Show. You never plant seeds, never have fruit to grow. All I want to do is read books and make stupid dough. Please, that's the motif. I'll never put you on no leash, but I promise that I love you if you make a little salad with some walnuts and goat cheese. Pop a beer and yell, go Chiefs. I used to take drugs to feel normal. Now I feel high when I'm sober. Sometimes I think about my birth, sometimes I think about my death, and all the time I wonder which one is closer. But it don't matter. Jameson whiskey up in my bladder. Spent 15 years trying to be a rapper. Nobody paid attention till I started making pancake batter. Now they come to my shows like flow faster. Nah, exercise, drink wine daily. Make life sweet like a praline. Yum. Drop down and get into the modified Cobra. Shout out to my wife, she's beautiful and does yoga. I'm trying to take it day by day. You see another rapper rhyming, but he ain't like me. Man, it's a brand new day. It's time to make the decision. You gonna base your choices off of wishes or wisdom? Listen, I'm trying to take it day by day. You see another rapper rhyming, but he ain't like me. Man, it's a brand new day. It's time to make the decision. Extraordinaires are playing. Listen. Woo!
And that was Day by Day by Mac Lethal on your latest album. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And it's called Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations and congratulations.
Absolutely.
So tell me about Day by Day, the inspiration.
Day by Day, kind of like the rest of the album, Congratulations, is all about kind of grown life. I wanted to make a rap album where I wasn't talking about the stuff that young people talk about, because I'm not a young person anymore and I don't relate. I don't relate to going out and partying and doing party drugs and
That was another time.
Yeah, it was another time, long ago. And so it's really more about just what it's like to be in your mid-30s and being established financially and having a career, and how it can still stress you out, and it's actually more high stakes than young life is, and just like you're taking it day by day. Every day when you're in this age, it feels high stakes. There's always risk involved. It always feels like you have to make wise decisions every day. You can't waste time anymore. So.
But it's great that you've come to that realization and you're not still just kind of bumbling around, because I think that's what a lot of your 20s are about,
yes,
you know?
Absolutely.
So you weren't having an existential crisis necessarily when you were writing the song. You just mentioned that as, you know.
Yeah, no, I think it was more like in reference to what I've had before, where when I used to write songs, I would be kind of trying to, what does this all mean, and working it all out. And now I think I have an idea of who I am, what I want to be, what I want to portray, and I'm comfortable, and I like it. Yeah, it feels good.
Well, I want to start from the beginning because you are from Kansas City.
Yes.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Overland Park. I was born in Raytown, so I spent my childhood in Raytown, and then I moved to Overland Park. So I spent a lot of time in Overland Park, and then some time in Kansas City, Kansas, and the Dot. But most of my high school years, Overland Park, yes.
And you still live here and spend most of your time here?
Yep. The challenge for me is that if I'm going to be in this business, I can't move to New York or LA. I have to stay right here. And so far it's working.
It is. Okay. I mean, I was going to ask, is it just a lot of flights back and forth?
A lot of flights. Too many flights.
At least you're in the middle. So you're...
Yeah,
you know.
There's not many 6-hour, coast-to-coast flights or anything like that. It's always 3 hours one way, and I have TSA pre-check, so I skip the line.
Oh, snap. VIP.
Yep.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's great.
And I don't know if everybody necessarily knows, but you are an indie artist. So what sort of drove that decision?
I don't know. I think that it's a matter of never wanting to compromise my vision. Not wanting to make generic music or trying to fit into a generic image. I just kind of have a problem with not being myself. And I probably am sacrificing getting big marketing dollars or high budget producers, but I've also learned a lot, and I've run this entire ship myself for my entire career. So everything I've done by myself.
Well, I think, you get to have that creative freedom, which is really great. And we are going to get deeper into that here in just a little bit. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Behind the Spotlight after this.
Make it turn from night to day, seasons from fall to...
Welcome back to Behind the Spotlight. Tonight we are talking to Mac Lethal. And being an indie artist, I'm sure that has come with a lot of challenges. You said that, maybe you're not making the big bucks, but I don't know if I believe that, because you turned down a contract with Sony. Talk to me about that decision.
I mean, in terms of that, I'd say that I don't have the big bucks behind me from, there's not a big machine behind me. But in terms of profiting now, I'll just say that being an indie artist is the smartest business decision. Without getting into too many details, doing just fine.
So if you can, then it's a good way to go. Did anybody in particular sort of help pave the way for you to come up with that business model? Because it's different.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of people in the past. I mean, more recently, people that I directly were influenced by would be Kansas City's Tech-9, of course, who's on the new album, and from Minneapolis, there's a group named Atmosphere, and those were the two groups. And then Hieroglyphics on the West Coast, the Living Legends. They were groups that in the mid and late 90s were releasing their own music and caking off of it. And I'm sitting there watching all these guys turn down major label deals and then have tons of money because they just fund it themselves, and the profit margin is so high, and they don't have to compromise their vision. So I was always really into the idea of doing it myself, playing by my rules, and then making all the business decisions and then keeping all the money, in my opinion.
Yeah. Along with being an independent artist, I'm sure it's not as glamorous as some people think. So what's the general misconception about life on the road that people have?
Life on the road, I would say most people think that independent touring artists travel in a nice bus and there's groupies at the end of every show and you know, paparazzi and stuff. And a lot of it is unpleasant hours in a van, like a Sprinter van or a minivan, and you're in kind of a small green room at a bar, or if you're lucky, a theater. And it's really about trying to keep your health and not get sick, because you're on the road, you're around people, shaking hands, meeting fans, and it's very easy to get a cold or a flu. So it's not, certainly not glamorous. A different hotel room every single night, or if you're on a bus, you're cramped in with 12 other people. It's not glamorous at all.
I think you mentioned at one point that you started off driving your Sentra.
Drove
Just
the
on the
Nissan.
road.
Yeah, I
Your
put
little
like
Nissan
almost
Sentra.
200,000 miles on my Nissan Sentra.
And it lasted that long.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
yeah, we still have it. We still drive it.
No kidding.
No kidding.
Nice little plug for Nissan right
Yeah,
there.
but you have to start. Yeah, you have to start when you're in your younger years and you want to tour, which a lot of people do. You have to pretty much bypass staying in hotels.
Yeah.
In your early years, you play a show and then you go and sleep on somebody's floor.
Someone's couch.
You get on stage and you're like, hey, there's 5 of us. Can we stay on somebody's couch? And then hopefully somebody, a fan there, will be like, yeah, you can come stay at my apartment. So you meet a lot of new, interesting, crazy people in your early years.
I was going to say, that's got to lead to, there's got to be some interesting stories there.
Tons of them. Those years are long gone. Now it's a nice hotel and I can be comfortable and relaxed, but there was a lot of paying dues to get to this point.
Builds character, right?
100%.
And now hopefully your wife can visit you on the road.
Yes, she can. She'll come out, she'll fly out, bring the kids, and relax for a couple days on the road.
And you did just recently have a daughter.
I did, Maple.
Maple,
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell me about family life. Tell me how you met your wife and
My wife and I were friends for about 10 years before we started dating. I always had a secret crush on her. But I traveled a lot. We're always miss each other. And she moved away to Austin, Texas. And then she was getting ready to go get her master's degree in England and came home to Kansas City, this is 5 years ago, for a month before she left. And I knew I had like 4 weeks to make something happen.
You're like, pressure's on.
And I did it.
So you popped the question.
I went and found her. I knew she was in town, and I was like, you're coming to a Sade concert with me on a date tonight. And we went and saw Sade at the Sprint Center, and then I just made her fall in love. And we've been together ever since.
Force that love out of her.
You're in
gonna
love.
love me.
That's right.
So you didn't pop the question yet. You were, that was just
No,
getting into
no. I
dating.
popped the question.
Oh, you did?
Yes, yeah, right away. Right
How'd
away.
you do it? What was
I promised her I'd buy her a house and marry her, and
that was awesome.
we found the house that we wanted, and I dropped to my knee, and we planted a tree there where I popped the question at, an apple tree. Yeah.
Does anybody else know that you're such a romantic?
My wife, that's it.
Just
Everybody thinks I'm a jerk.
I mean, you're here with all this rap music, but obviously a big soft spot for your wife.
Yeah.
And how do you guys manage, you know, you've mentioned that you miss your kids a lot when you're on the road. So do you just make time to visit? Is it a lot of FaceTiming?
A lot of FaceTime. A lot of FaceTime. Another shout out would be to Apple for inventing FaceTime. Thank you for that.
Thanks,
That's
Apple.
great for parents. Yeah, you know, she'll come in and visit, or sometimes I'll just fly home for 12 hours. Like I'll fly, if I have a day off, I'll fly home, hang out all day, and then fly back the next morning and get back on the road. Just do what I can. So, but she's cool. Like she's really laid back, so she doesn't make a big thing of it. It's more about me and seeing the kids.
Yeah, sure. You want to be present and you want to be there.
Definitely.
And did you ever expect, I mean, I guess, what were your thoughts on fatherhood? Was it something that you always wanted?
Yeah, I did. I love kids, and I always wanted to be a dad, and I'm a good dad. And it's the thing that I guess I didn't realize would happen is you suddenly realize you don't have a second to waste anymore.
Yeah.
So you go from not having kids where you're just kind of like, you know, we could just kind of do whatever we want, which seems like leisure seems nice when you have it, and then once you have children and life becomes high stakes and you have people that depend on you, you realize it's way more fun that way, and it's way more gratifying to have kids that you're teaching and showing the world to. And, you know, people often go like, oh, I don't want to have kids because I love to travel. Well, you travel with your kids. So now it's not about you anymore. You're actually showing the world to a developing mind. And that's exciting to me. There's nothing more exciting to me than that. And then, you know, if my wife needs to sleep, I'll let her sleep in, or vice versa, she'll let me sleep in. So we get enough sleep. So all the things that people are scared about when it comes to having children, you don't really experience. The thing you do experience is this raw, unadulterated form of love that you get every day directly from the source. So it's great.
And it seems like that heightened responsibility is motivating.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can't. You have no time to waste.
There's no being lazy.
No,
Yeah,
there's no being.
lazy.
That doesn't compute anymore.
Yeah.
That's not like a thing like I could be late. No, you can't. You can't. There's no laziness. You have to build a foundation. You have to think about what's going to happen when you're gone too.
Yeah.
So it's not just about right now. It's like I have to make sure that if I die or I leave Earth, that they're going to be taken care of. So every minute of every day, you're thinking about, how can I build a foundation for their lives in case I'm not here one day?
Yeah, I think it's must be very confronting to become a parent. I think every parent probably experiences that on some level.
Definitely.
Switching gears just for fun, because I'm curious, text from Bennett. Is Bennett real?
Bennett's not real. That was, I haven't posted on it in a while. I had a book, we had a TV deal that didn't actually end up turning into anything. It made it pretty high. It was a fun project that I did for fun. I posted it. It was actually based on a kid, I don't know if I should say, this kid, Billy Bennett, that I went to school with, AEP, which is Alternative Education Program in Shawnee Mission School District for bad kids. Billy Bennett went to school there, so I based a blog on him and said my cousin Bennett, and it blew up, like was huge. Wrote a book, a best-selling book, and then it just kind of stopped there.
Case closed. Now we know.
Now we know.
Bennett's not real. But he was kind of based on a real person.
Yeah, and real people. There's real people like Bennett. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, we will be right back with more Behind the Spotlight. Don't go away.
I'm trying to take it day by day. You see another rapper rhyming, but he ain't like me. Man, it's a brand new day. It's time to make the decision. You gonna base your choices on.
Welcome back. It's been such a pleasure hanging out with Mac Lethal. We have one more song for you, and it's called Till the Casket Drops. An interesting note about this song is it was shot entirely in the West Bottoms, in Kansas City.
Yeah, the video was.
The video was, yeah, correct. And it's kind of a big, long shot. How hard was that to actually coordinate with everybody?
It's all about blocking. So what I did is I got on Instagram and Facebook and I said, we're gonna shoot a video in the West Bottoms tomorrow. Bring as many people as you want, bring your friends, bring your kids, just show up. So I put out 1 or 2 posts, probably 200 people showed up, and I went down and we just kind of got a look at everybody. Me and my boy William Hara, who helped direct the video, we walked around that kind of block in the West Bottoms, and we just positioned everybody and said, I'm gonna walk by you, we want you to do this, we want you to do this, and we want you all to be on your phones when you do it. And the thing about it that was so awesome is everybody was already on their phone anyway. So we didn't really, it didn't require much acting. But we only did 1 take. So we did that, and we did that in 1 take. We did a blocking rehearsal where we kind of walked through, showed everybody what they were gonna do, and then we ran it and we got it in 1 take.
That's so impressive.
And the entire thing was made with a phone, edited on a phone. Everybody's on their phone. It's kind of about phones. And,
absolutely. So. It's so cool.
Thank you.
And a nice plug for Kansas City as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, well, Till the Casket Drops. This is on your newest album as well.
On the newest album and produced by these fine gentlemen, The Extraordinaires.
All right, it's all you.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. Hey. Crazy sometimes. Spend a lot of days of my life up to my haters, but I'ma make this one mine. Take a couple photographs of my pretty family in the bright and hazy sunshine. When the aperture's perfect, it's a golden hour. Gonna pull the power from the sun and it's lavender surface. Got a new lens, I got a lot of family, but few friends. I know this cliche-ish to say, but reality rap is a challenge, cause facts are facts and can't go many different different ways. Here we go. It ain't guaranteed that you'll be here tomorrow. You live life like you got an extra day to do things, and to die in a leap year it's hard, so do it all today. Or in 20 years you're gonna look at life like you threw it all away. Ain't no guarantees, but I guarantee if you have a little bit just under juice, you'll calm your day. I don't wanna lie to you for the fame or the money, maybe I can write the truth along the way. I've had writers rock to the beat for a full year, so I'ma do the song today. Gonna vision it and love it, then I mix it, then I dub it, then I rip it to the public, then I give it to the public. Cheeseburger, Sesame Street, Happy Meal. Hey, it doesn't matter with the rapping skills. Mac Lethal and the Extraordinaires. Life is more than fair, check it out. The universe is expanding, I don't really care, I'm drinking all day. All the dreams I have are in color, even though my memories are all gray. Man, the whole dang world is burning, but you never know because you're too busy staring at your phone. Only way that I can feel happiness is when I'm by myself standing here alone. Just me till the casket drops. Just me till the casket drops. Hey, just me till the casket drops. It's just me till the casket drops. Listen, not a day goes by where I don't think about how the world's all messed up. All it takes is a car wreck, cancer, virus, or a member of ISIS on a random Tuesday with a gun going buck, and you out of here. You don't know what second, what day, what month, what year, but one day you were gonna disappear and 99% of the planet ain't even gonna care. Except the people at your funeral who clap and cheer as they reflect on your life with laughs and tears. And drop your casket, the energy leaves your body in a supernova through the atmosphere, and it travels years through a black hole where time gets so slow it stops, then reverses. Now you're turning back the years, going back in time to the days when you were just a curious kid with a fragile mind, laying on your back looking up at the night sky wondering what the heck is past the line of the solar system. And you're thinking to yourself, Jesus is an incredible light, as you're trying to look deep into the delicate night, smoking weed, wondering if you're having it right, and you want to know